It's another beautiful morning here at Dean Evans Stadium in Salina, Kansas. We are on state semifinals. 4 teams remain on the cusp for one championship of our continuing coverage of the 2025 Kansas State Baseball 4A Tournament. Dylan Funk alongside Dennis Drennan here on Paola Sports Live, and it's presented by Go Brawley. Go Brawley Internet. It just works. Go Brawley is changing what is possible. Experience a new kind of internet with Go Brawley. For more information, call 913-837-4678 or visit gobrawley.com. Denny, we are here again. We saw the Panthers yesterday. They got the win. Survive and advance. That's the name of this tournament. Got the walk-off double from J.D. Troutman, 4-3 victorious over Clay Center. They closed the gap. They were trailed by 2 runs the majority of that game, but they avoid the upset bid. Now they're here against a familiar opponent in Fort Scott, the ultimate rubber match. These 2 teams met in the regular season. They split their doubleheader. Second year in a row, the Paola's looking for the rubber match this time to go to the state championship.
Yeah, no question about it. And you got to believe that walk-off double by Troutman put a spark into these Panthers. So, when a team gets hot, they can go all the way. So let's see if we can get that done today. And then we've got just about ready to get going here. They're going to start introducing the players, and probably we'll do the national anthem, I'm assuming, today. So we'll be right back with you here shortly.
Right there, here as we wrap up our coverage here, this is the Elliott Insurance pregame show. Elliott Group, they believe in building strong relationships with their clients and their community is the best way to serve them both, with offices throughout the area and online at elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Number 1, Jace Curley. At first base, batting 5th is number 7, Jasper Logan. Batting 6th, center fielder number 2, Xander Meinig. Batting 7th, the catcher number 11, Roman Barnes. Batting 8th, designated hitter number 9, Mason Stein. Batting 9th is the pitcher number 12, David Mercer. Now batting is left fielder number 6, Reese Hauser. And coach for Paola is Tony Brummer. Now let's meet the home team, the Fort Scott Tigers. Leading off the first baseman number 7, Bob Chipman. Batting second, shortstop number 11, Kenny Brown. Batting third, the pitcher number 6, Lennox Van. In the third spot, third baseman number 3, Chandon Clayton. Batting fifth, the second baseman number 4, Brody Gomez. Batting sixth, the catcher number 18, Colton Rogers. Batting seventh, designated hitter number 2, Nathan Mitz. Batting 8th, left fielder number 16, Kaden Cannon. Batting 9th, the center fielder number 9, Tyler Marbury. Now batting is the right fielder number 19, Cody Lesser. And the coach for the Tigers, Josh Regan. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you please rise.
There you go. First pitch, state semifinal. Panthers trying to get back to the state championship for the first time since 2014. First pitch coming up next.
Oh, hi, honey.
Hi, Grandma. I'm really sorry. I won't be able to make it today. I have way too much homework, and you don't have enough internet.
Oh, honey, I gotta go. I gotta go. Oh, I need more internet in my house.
Well, you could have just called, right?
Oh.
Call Go Brawley today.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
State coordinates of new land acquisition.
Oh, well, you know that big oak tree that got struck by lightning?
Negative.
The barn with the funny cow mural?
Negative.
One-eyed scarecrow?
Negative.
Giant water tower? You're not from here, are you?
I've never seen him.
Robots don't know you. We do.
Hey, how's your dad doing?
For over 80 years, we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Rusty Walters in Paola today at 913-294-2737.
Here we go with first pitch in this one. Again, these two teams split their doubleheader in the regular season back in April. They meet again here in the final days of May. Winner goes to the state championship game at 5:45 this evening, and the loser will go into the third place game, and they will play at 3:30. One way or the other, both of these teams are going to have the next game off, and then whoever the winner is, they will have 2 games off. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for whoever wins and goes to the championship game. Same lineup pretty much all throughout for Paola. Troutman, Koslow, Lothan will lead it off here. Troutman starting at short. Right field is Koslow, and Lothan, he will start at third base today after pitching yesterday. David Mercer will get the start here in game 2, as does Lennox Van on the bump today for Fort Scott. He started at shortstop yesterday in the opening round win in the quarterfinal against Abilene. So they turn to Lennox Van, the varsity quarterback on the football field. You and I are very familiar with how athletic this young man is, Denny. He's got quite the arm on him. So another game and another test for these Paola batters, as they're going to face a guy that when he can rear back on one, he can blow it by you. He's got some good movement on a changeup as well. He's got a big hooking curve that he can throw at you as well.
Yeah, he's quite an athlete. We saw him play shortstop yesterday, and typically your best athlete is starting at shortstop, so no surprise there.
And that was the question, because they also have Messner that they could have turned to in this game, but I think they're electing, you can have Van be the starting pitcher, get the win in this game. You go to the state championship game, you can return him back to that middle part of your infield, keep that defense strong for a potential championship game. But Paola obviously looking to spoil that. Panthers, it's been a while since they've been to the state championship game. They've been to the semifinals and third place game many a times, but for head coach Tony Brummer and this squad, they are looking to break through, get their way back for a chance to win the ultimate prize. J.D. Troutman, he played hero yesterday with the walk-off double off the left field wall, and he first pitch swinging on the pitch from Lennox Van, and he fouls it away. And then it was a hit that if he got just under it, 2 more feet of elevation, it scrapes over the wall, and it's a walk-off 2-run home run at the state tournament. Not a lot of people could say that. 2 straight fouled away here by J.D. Oh, 2 swung on and missed, so 3-pitch strikeout for Lennox Van. That's how he gets it started here today.
That was high heat there, partner. He just reared back and threw it by him.
Yes, sir.
Lennox Van's, he works quick as well, so that keeps his defense on their toes.
That does not waste a whole lot of time. So far, 4 pitches, 4 strikes for Lennox Van. 0-1 count here to Koslow. This one hit hard on a bounce out there to short. Throw across. 2 up, 2 down.
Lothan pitched a really good game yesterday.
Boy, didn't he. Going the distance, 4 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts he collected in the win.
Yep.
He gave up that solo home run to Cole Platson, the signee for Oklahoma State. And that was really the only big damage that he was able to give up. This is sky down into center field. 3 up, 2 down go to Panthers to start this one. Fort Scott coming up to the plate for the first time in this one. 0-0 score after a half inning.
The Fun 99 menu, always $1.99 each.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. The all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic. You wanna live free?
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness and a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
Panthers go 3 up, 3 down. Their first turn to the plate in this ball game. Now we go out to the field. David Mercer gets a start on the bump here in the second game of this state tournament. He started out in left field yesterday in the win against Clay Center. Looking to replicate the success that Hunter Lothan was able to have yesterday. We talked about the great line that he had, more on the success that Mercer has had this year as well in just a little bit. Here's the lineup for Fort Scott. It'll be Chipman, Brown, and Van. Chipman again to start at first, Brown at short, and Van, the pitcher. That is the first three to followed by Clayton starting at third base. He's batting cleanup. Brody Gomez batting fifth and out at second base. He did have a hamstring strain in the game yesterday, running out a play at first base, so Gomez might not be 100%. That could be something to keep an eye on. Rogers, the catcher, batting sixth. Mintz, the DH, at 7. Cannon, the left fielder, batting 8th. And Marbury, the center fielder, batting 9th.
We've got a beautiful day here, partner. 66 degrees at first pitch.
Yeah. You hear the birds chirping in the background. That's just...
Yeah, they're right ahead of, right above
beautiful.
us. Yeah.
First pitch from Mercer. Breaking pitch. That's called strike.
Got an 8-mile-an-hour breeze out of the north, but it is a non-factor today. But we do have a high sky. So the sun could be an issue, but I think most of them have sunglasses on.
I always go back. You tell me the old story of somebody back with the Yankees that they played in the game. Was it Reggie Jackson?
Yeah, it was Reggie Jackson. Yeah, it was a game of the week, and he lost a fly ball in the sun that got down for a hit, and he come running in to get sunglasses, and Billy Martin met him on the top of the steps and says, "Pick out a good pair, Reggie. They just cost you 10 grand."
Can you imagine? I mean, I know to those guys, especially the great Reggie Jackson, with the millions that he was paid throughout his career, $10,000 is probably $10 to him, if even that. But that's just crazy.
Yeah, Billy Martin was an old school guy too. He made you pay.
Payoff pitch from Mercer. On to 3-2 and just off
outside.
the plate.
Boy, that was close. And all day yesterday, partner, we saw the home plate umpire giving that outside pitch. Not so far today. Now let's see if they have something on here. You expect this to be a close game, so a lot of times you want to get that runner in scoring position as often as you can.
Well, looking at all the games yesterday, all 8 teams that played, nobody scored more than 4 runs.
Yeah.
Throw back over to first, and he's in safely on the head first dive. Yep, runs will definitely come at a premium here today.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's bunting. Swinging away.
Upstairs, 1 ball, no strike. Fort Scott, uber confident in their offensive ability, one of the most explosive offenses in all of 4A. We're in their 25 wins on the year, 23 wins on the year. 13 of those wins, they scored 10 or more runs. Swinging away here, that'll get out of play onto the concourse.
Outfield really shallow for Mercer here.
Yes. Here's the pitch, low, called strike, throw to the bag at second, and just able to slide in. Throw just a tick behind. It was a close play nonetheless. It was a called strike. Cheese at the knees at the plate, so 1 ball, 2 strike to count here.
Yeah, if that ball had been thrown more towards the bag, I think they may have gotten it. Now he's no, he's got 2 strikes. He's not going to bunt now.
Chipman at second off the stolen base, reaching via the walk. Leaning in front of that one. Brown just gets a piece, fouls it away. Mercer, its season ERA 1.29, 48 strikeouts collected on the year. Second best on the team, just behind his teammate Hunter Lothan, who got the start yesterday. Takes a long look at Shipman, now delivers. Another one just missing the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopped up the middle. Troutman will take it. Shipman will go up to third. To throw to first. Jasper Logan is in time on the stretch.
That's just as good as a bunt. I got that runner at third with less than 2 out.
Wasn't the hardest hit, so Troutman had to wait on it. Was not going to have enough time to make a throw over to third. Takes the guaranteed out, the more higher assured out, I should say, over at first base. Good extra stretch there from Jasper Logan, using every bit of that reach just to make sure it was secured in plenty of time. So now Lennox Van is going to step in and a chance to give himself some run support when he comes back out in the top of the second.
And the Panthers are going to play the infield in. That goes to tell you what they think runs are going to be at a premium here.
Van had a big stand-up triple in the game yesterday against Abilene, as the game was kind of in a rut where it was a close game. He was kind of waiting for that next team that gets that big hit, could potentially win the whole thing, and that was a 2-spot. Fort Scott was able to put up and eventually pulled away to win 4-2. He pulls this one onto the right side. It gets by the diving glove of Jasper Logan and into right field. So it's an RBI single here from Lennox Van. He does the job. Tigers take the early 1-0 lead.
That's what happens when you pull the infield in. It adds points to the batter's average.
And it makes it a little tougher when that ball's coming at you. You're not back a couple of feet. Logan did everything he could. It still would have been tough if he dove out, stopped it. You got to get to your feet, deliver a rocket to home plate for a chance to Roman Barnes to make the tag at home. But just a good hit there from Lennox Van. Bottom of the first. You give up the 1 run. You're going to be okay with that. Just try to keep the damage to that. Give your offense a chance to respond in the top of the second.
Now, if you're the Panthers, you want to see a hard hit ground ball at a middle infielder here in roll 2.
Old pitcher's best friend, a 4.6 or 6.43, one of the two. You'll take it. We saw a 1-3 double play yesterday. You'll take a double play no matter how you get it.
Yeah, any way you can.
Jaden Clayton, 291 average in the year, 26 RBIs. Next pitch from Mercer, barely missing. So 3 straight balls, and Roman Barnes, he's going to ask for time. He's going to come talk to his veteran pitcher. And both these players here, part of this very loaded senior class for Paola. 5th straight trip for the Panthers, 8th in the last 10 years. Coach Brummer has turned this program into a 4A juggernaut. Trying to get back to the state title game for the first time in 11 seasons. 3-0 count, Mercer delivers. Cross the letters for strike 1. Clayton going to be looking for something that he can handle here. 3-1 count, just where he wants it. Mercer, another one. That's called strike. There's that low and away part of the zone.
Yeah.
Many, many times in both of our games we covered yesterday here on the Varsity Sports Live Network, that was given. And now we see it for the first time here this morning. I should say still morning. Just now at 11:07 a.m. Another payoff pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. David Mercer, they call him Merce. Nicely done, able to battle back there on a 3-0 count. Gets back-to-back looking strikes, and he gets them on the swing and miss there. That's a big out, number 2. Van still over at first base. He's got the lone RBI so far. Another throw to first. Just for Wade and Mercer to telling Van, I have my eye on you.
Van's got quite a large lead over there at first base.
It doesn't give the numbers as far as stolen bases for the team or individual, but Lennox Van definitely has some speed. So
See, he's got his foot on the other side of that cutout. That means you have a sizable lead.
There he goes. And trying to hit and run. It's a slow chopper. Mercer takes it. Throw to first going to be in time. Brody Gomez is retired again with that strained hamstring. Might not have been able to run it up the line at 100%. But Mercer and the Panthers will take it. RBI single for Lennox Van gives the Tigers the early 1-0 lead after one.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Live remarkably at Colonial Oaks Spring Hill. The caring, loving, and qualified staff of professionals at Colonial Oaks offers your loved ones the care they need with the compassion they deserve. With a wide range of services, Colonial Oaks can meet a variety of needs, including with their Rhythm of the Day Memory Care program or on-site therapy with Empower Me Wellness. Residents enjoy 3 delicious restaurant-style meals daily, all with the support of the Colonial Oaks team. Learn more at colonialoaks.com.
One-0 ball game here after one in the book. State semifinal here at the 4A State Championship Tournament. Dean Evans Stadium in Salina, Kansas. Dylan Funk alongside Dennis Drennan here. It was a 3-up, 3-down inning for Ward Lennox Van in the top of the first, and he got the RBI single in the bottom half, so you could call the first inning belonging to Van and the Tigers for sure. Jace Curley, Jasper Logan, Xander Meinig. 3-2 up here for the Panthers. Roman Barnes, bat cleanup for anyone that gets on. First pitch, just inside. No, the Panthers, no strangers of wanting to come to the plate. Very aggressive in their approach. We saw that from J.D. Troutman right out of the gate. He swung at the first 3 pitches, fouled the first 2 off, and he missed on the third one for the 3-pitch strikeout. We saw that a lot in the game yesterday against Clay Center. Another swing over the glove of Van. Going to be a tough play. Brown got him by a step. So it floated just over the glove of Lennox Van on an extra hop or so. He's going to take a good throw and a play from Brown, not the everyday shortstop, filling in there for Lennox Van as he gets a start here on the bump, but a nice play nonetheless.
Yeah, Van gives the tip of the hat to Brown.
Well deserved.
Oh, nice play.
Ball one here to Jasper Logan. Playing first base today. Plays off that one at eye level. Logan went 1 for 1 in the game yesterday with a hit and was able to draw 2 walks. 2-0 becomes 3-0. See if he takes here on this 3-0. He does. Van puts it in for a called strike. Panthers in part going up against a Tigers team that comes into this tournament as part of one of the best pitching staffs in all of 4A. As Logan is on with that walk. The combined ERA is sub-2. I believe about 1.49 or 1.59 was that team total.
That's really good.
Through the regular season, 20-plus games, and then the 2 games at regionals, and then holding opponent average of 199 overall. So test is going to be up against these Panther hitters today. Already down to run, looking to answer, swinging here, Meinig. Here's the Brown at short, the 2nd and 1. He'll put it in his back pocket. So they cut down the leadoff runner, Jasper Logan. Tanner Meinig over to first on the fielder's choice.
It wasn't hit quite hard enough for 2.
Many times yesterday did we see teams that would try to turn 2 in that scenario and throw it away. And once see McPherson Bullpups, they were the victim of the lone run they gave up to Tonganoxie, who came off of 2 throwing errors on the infield as he nearly, on that throw to first, got Meinig leaning and almost picked him off.
It's a lot closer than I thought it would be.
For a split second, Meinig was caught, and now here he goes to second. Late jump, here comes the throw, and it's under the glove and out into center field. So if Brown is able to take that into the mid, he might be able to put the tag on Meinig and cut him down and end the inning.
Well, Meinig got a tremendous jump against Van there. Meinig stole that on Van, not the catcher.
So Van threw over there initially. We saw that Meinig had that lean that to his right like he wanted to go, and then the very next pitch he does just that. Van continues to look, now delivers to the plate.
Panthers don't want to waste these chances when you have runners in scoring position. Need timely hitting.
Fouled away. Roman Barnes, he had a good day yesterday at the plate. 2 RBIs on a 3-for-4 performance. And was so close in the bottom of the 6th to having the potential go-ahead RBI. But instead, it went to the bottom of the 7th, and J.D. Troutman was able to play hero, win the game for the Panthers. Right side by Van. Go to first, going to be in time. So another runner left stranded in scoring position. That total is now up to 26 runners left stranded in postseason play across 3 games for Paola. Inning and a half here in the books here. Our first semifinal game at Dean Evans Stadium, 1-0 Fort Scott.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Hey, call insurance agent.
Insurance agent not found in contact.
Call insurance company.
Insurance company is currently closed. Please call back during business hours. For directions, press 1. For billing, press 2.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Don't worry, we're going to get this taken care of.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Rusty Walters in Paola today at 913-294-2737.
Three-seeded Paola Panthers and the 2-seeded Fort Scott Tigers. This is a matchup between 2 teams. They're not necessarily, it's one of those, it's a little bit of a rivalry between the 2, which is off of proximity and stuff. They always play hard and they play competitive. They're not within the same league or conference or anything like that. But whenever these 2 teams, whether it be on the football field, the basketball court, the baseball diamond, no matter where it is, there's a little bit, some kind of animosity that's usually there. And especially in a game like this, winner goes to the state championship game, loser goes on to play in the 3rd place game. You cannot make the stakes much more higher than that.
No question about it.
So Mercer starts his 2nd inning of work. The 1 run given up in the bottom of the 1st on an RBI single from Lennox Van. He will deal with the bottom half of the order here for the Tigers. Rogers, Mintz, and Cannon, 6, 7, 8. And high fly ball out into left, and running back, that's Hauser out there in left. It hops on the warning track and then off the top of the wall. He got every bit of that one, did Rogers. He will pull in with the standoff double.
He hit that well. One hop the wall.
It was Mercer in left field yesterday as courtesy runner will come in for Rogers. It'll be, I believe I saw number 20. That'll be Williams. That'll fill in for there. So with Mercer pitching today, surrenders his starting role in left field. It is Ryan Hauser out there this time. And even if you put Mercer out there, it doesn't matter. I don't think anybody was going to run that one down. It took a bounce off the warning track and then off the top of the wall. It was close to being just a ground roll double.
Yeah, I'd say a bunt's coming up right here, partner.
Go to second, and
Nice.
JD did a good job of keeping that from going out in the center field.
He saved, maybe even saved a run because that was headed for the gap. You got to expect a 7-hole hitter to be bunting here.
First pitch to him, called strike.
He didn't square.
Nathan Mintz, just 8 RBIs, 267 average. Another throw. This one a little bit more on line, but still back safely as Williams. Dexter Williams, Jr., serves as the courtesy runner.
He's got that oven mitt on his right hand, so he's in there to steal bases.
Just got a piece. The ball definitely had a lot of movement on it. The ball's 2 strikes account here to Mintz.
Strikeout would be big here for Mercer.
That double, the second hit of the game for Fort Scott. Already holding us a 1-0 lead. No hits, no runs yet for Paola. Swing and a miss there.
Mercer got the strikeout.
So that's a good way to respond after giving up the leadoff double. You come back, you get the next batter on the strikeout, swing and miss. Trying to hold the bottom half of the order at bay. It's strikeout number 2 here in the semifinal game for David Mercer. He will now deal with Caden Cannon. Season average at 250, 17 RBIs and 17 hits. Another throw to second. He's getting closer and closer each and every time. And Williams is still back safely. JD that time was able to try to make a move with the glove to put the tag on, but still back in time was Williams. Mercer keeping his eye on him. Not going to make a throw here. Wouldn't expect it. Now to the plate. First pitch is fouled off.
Cued that right off the end of the bat.
That's about the last thing you want to do as a pitcher is you get too concentrated on the runner at second base.
Yeah.
And then you miss the zone thrown to the plate, or even worse, you miss in location, potentially serve up a cookie.
Yep.
And give up a big blast or something like that. Goes breaking on that one, and it goes out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. So far, it seems Mercer has been able to have that balance to not get too caught up with the runner at second off that leadoff double. A strike away from potentially following up that double with back-to-back strikeouts. Cannon protected on a 0-2. Mercer ready to deliver. Here it is. Got him looking. So
2 big strikeouts there for Mercer.
One
Boy.
swinging, one looking. And now for Fort Scott in danger of possibly wasting that leadoff double.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, I believe the Fort Scott coach is going to wish he had bunted that runner over, but we'll see.
It's the 9-hole hitter, Ty Marbury.
Really wouldn't have mattered anyway with the 2 strikeouts.
Another throw, and again, back safe. That's the 4th throw that Mercer has made over to second. Called strike. He really has that big breaking pitch working for him early, didn't he?
Oh, no question. Looks like it's starting out inside to a right-handed hitter and it's breaking back over the plate.
He has been dealing with that, particularly here in the bottom of the second. Strike 2, right at the knees. Marbury. Next time, just going to have to try to swing at it, put a defensive contact on it or something.
Mercer gets out of this unscathed. That's a fantastic job.
No doubt about it. Looking for 3 straight strikeouts. Not going to get it on that pitch. Tigers back here at State. They finished 12-0 in the Southeast Kansas League. It's the first time ever that they have done it in their nearly 30-plus year history. 1-2 is fouled off. A dominant year. The only other losses in 4A came to these Paola Panthers, and they also played a team in Webb City in Missouri, not too far from Joplin, Missouri.
Perennial state champions in Missouri.
They set a school record for wins in a season. The team hitting .319 and have now collected 98 total stolen bases, averaging just a little over 8 runs per game and just allowing 3 runs a game. The team ERA at 1.61, the best in 4A. Marbury battling here, the 9-hole hitter, trying to keep the inning going for Fort Scott. They had the leadoff double. Mercer has followed it up with back-to-back strikeouts. Trying to send Marbury packing. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Plenty of room in these foul grounds, and that one will get out of play. Nice barehanded snag by the spectator over there on the berm. Attaboy, Dad.
Yeah.
I don't need no mitt, he says. I got calluses on my hands. That's good enough. Love it. That's not easy to do something with the spin and everything.
With the spin on the ball, yes.
Using both your bare hands. Well done. That bat continues. Marbury has now worked it to 2-2. Another throw to second and back safely.
Oh, they almost had him. Troutman thought they did.
Troutman has been doing his part of keeping Williams close to that second base bag. You see him a lot of times. He's been dancing around back and forth like a cat with a hot foot. He came so close to getting that tag on in time. And Williams, the pinch hitter, brought on for the catcher, Rogers, who had the leadoff double. 2-2. And this now, it's really a big at-bat that's brewing here because this is the 9-hole hitter.
Right.
Who's been battling. Mercer, you struck out the first 2 batters before. Looking for 3 straight. He'll take it out no matter how you get it, but you'd love to get 3 straight strikeouts after giving up the leadoff double. And then for Marbury, if he's able to battle, find a way to get on base no matter how, and then you could send it back to the top of the order potentially to maybe bring that RBI in or keep the inning rolling. So this is a big moment early in this game. Still 1-0, just an inning and a half in. About to put the wraps here on inning number 2, but it's low and away. So Marbury was down 0-2, is fouled away pitch after pitch after pitch, and all of a sudden it is full at 3-2. Another payoff pitch looming here. Go back to the top of the order with Dub Chipman as he's on deck. Will he get a chance to bat here in the second, or will he lead it off in the bottom of the third? 3-2 for Mercer. Swing and a miss!
Big hook.
So he does get 3 straight strikeouts. What a way to settle in after the leadoff double. It goes a waste for the Fort Scott Tigers, and after 2, it's the Panthers just down by a run here at the state semifinal in Salina, Kansas.
Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, Equal Housing.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
So it stays a 1-0 ball game. That was a nice bottom of the second for David Mercer after the leadoff double. And it could have been an inning where he could have been rattled. Things could have gone awry, but instead he buckled down and was able to strike out the next 3 batters, 2 swinging and 1 looking in between. So now we go to the top of the third. 8-9-1, Stein, Mercer, and Troutman due up for the Panthers. Lennox Lewis back to work. 0-2 count here.
Lennox Van.
Lennox Van. I'm looking at my tablet of Lennox Lewis. Lennox Van. I would imagine Lennox Van is probably more than likely named after Lennox Lewis,
I would
the
think.
perennial boxer back in his day, the heavyweight champ back in the late 80s into the early 2000s. Out to right. Messer is there near the chalk. He brings it in. I mean, if you're going to be named after a heavyweight boxer, Lennox Lewis is not a bad one.
Yeah.
It's a good one to pick. 3-time world champ, 2-time lineal champ, and undisputed champion as well. One of the greater heavyweight fighters in the sport. David Mercer, first pitch swinging, and that is popped up in the infield. Shipman will go into foul ground. And quickly, 2 out here for the Panthers in their half of the third.
Lennox Van being very efficient so far.
We heard it in between half innings. They announced the pitching totals, 41 pitches through 2 innings for David Mercer. And right now for Van, he's just at, let's see, what did they have him? What did they have him at? As far as pitch count, 24 pitches. Here's number 25. Goes foul.
JD helped him out there a little bit, and he's a little upset with himself. That pitch was out of the zone.
I'm going to start calling him JD Witt.
Yeah, his mannerisms sure remind you of Bobby Witt, don't they?
It's amazing.
His stance, the twirling of the bat.
He's the heartbeat of this team, as is Bobby with the Royals as well.
Right.
So that last call, I guess, was the violation of Van not delivering in time, so it was 1 ball, and then that one makes it 2-2. Now this pitch, and they got him looking. And Troutman frustrated with himself and with the call.
I think he knew that one was a strike.
So he goes back to the dugout, back to the field come Mercer and the Panthers, still down 1-0.
Stupid Go Brawley internet.
Go Brawley allows you complete control over internet usage for all devices in your home from anywhere, as it should be. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
Bringing the law to your corner. That's Hartley Law Group. Attorney Jerry Hartley and her staff are dedicated to working for the results you want and to help you determine what actions you can take. Specializing in criminal defense, family law, guardianship and adoption, estate planning, probate, and trust litigation. To learn more, call 913-294-4512 or visit HartleyLawGroupLLC.com. The choice of a law firm and attorney are important decisions and should not be based solely on advertisements or websites.
So 1-0 remains our score. So far, it's that RBI single in the bottom of the first from Lennox Van. That has been the difference all in this one. As now we go back to the top of the order. Second time for the Tigers with Dub Chipman. Showing bunt, gets it down, and Barnes will let it go foul.
Definitely bunting for a hit there.
Sorry about that, Benny. Chipman got the start on the bump yesterday. Secured the win. Now back here and leading off for the Tigers and back over at first base. And that pitch count for Mercer getting up there now 42 and averaging a little over 20 pitches an inning. So you'd like to try to get that reined in under control as this game will go along. Now for Paola, they do have plenty of arms and options for Coach Brummer that he can send out at any time, but wants to have Mercer make it as deep into this ball game as possible.
Fort Scott's fouled off quite a few pitches, too. That hasn't helped us.
No
pitch
doubt.
count either.
No doubt. Yeah, this has not been one of those starts where Mercer has been all over the place. 3-0 counts, 3-1 counts. It's been more so attacking the zone and good hitters in Fort Scott that's been battling off and spoiling a lot of great pitches. Underneath this one, high can of corn. Who's going to track it down? It'll be Troutman at the line. Look at another thing very Bobby Wood-esque of going out into shallow outfields and bringing in high pop-ups like that.
We saw a really nice play by Platson of Abilene yesterday. He was playing shortstop after pitching and made one of those over-the-shoulder catches.
He did, yes. It was
fantastic.
Heading out into shallow left center, and he ran it all the way back and was looking over his shoulder. It's one thing to do that in football, and it's hard to make a catch. But to do it in baseball, it's just another level of difficulty, which, again, you can't fully appreciate it. You can appreciate it all you want, but you can't really fully appreciate it unless you've been there as a middle infielder or somebody that has tried to make that play. And he made it look easy.
He did.
Cole Platson. I'm going to book it right now on the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. With Platson signing at Oklahoma State, and we know the Cowboys,
perennial
they got a really rich baseball program here. I'm willing to bet for Platson, and if everything else goes right for the Cowboys, we'll be seeing and hearing his name called in a couple of years in Omaha for a College World Series or some super regionals.
Very possibly,
like that. That is
he looks like a full-grown man now.
He's a phenomenal talent coming out of Clay Center. Has a chance to really have a successful, fruitful career. This one to Mercer. Easy toss over to first for out number 2. Which, of course, we'd be remiss if playing here against Fort Scott, they know a thing or two about having a local guy go out, be very successful in baseball with Adam LaRoche.
Yeah.
Who, for many Royals fans, will be more familiar with his time with the Chicago White Sox, as I was growing up.
Doing damage
Adam
against
LaRoche.
the Royals.
Yes. Phenomenal big leaguer.
Big first baseman.
Yep. Lennox Van out to center. We'll have to put a pin in our Adam LaRoche conversation until a little bit later. Mercer into a nice groove. Back-to-back scoreless for him. 3 innings in, 1-0 Fort Scott.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
We're already on to the fourth inning here on Paola Sports Live, your home for Panther Athletics. Dylan Funk joined alongside my broadcast partner, Dennis Drennan. Our ongoing coverage of the 4A 2025 Baseball State Championship Tournament. Koslow will lead it off here in the top of the fourth for the Panthers. They went 3 up, 3 down, the top of the third, 3 straight scoreless innings for Lennox Van, and has not given up a hit to this point either. First pitch low and outside, ball 1.
Panthers looking to spoil that right here.
They got him.
Got him on the elbow.
They came inside. Natural instincts of Koslow made him bend out of the way to try to avoid the pitch, but it still came in with enough run to graze him. And he will make his pass on up to first base. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, you might as well be in a situation like that instead of taking 90 miles per hour square in the back.
Yeah.
So runner aboard here, Hunter Lothan.
Let's see what they're going to do here.
Shows bunt immediately. Here's the throw to second. Runner goes, and he is out.
Got him.
Beautiful throw from Rogers into the glove of Brown at short, and he put the tag on Koslow. So the Panthers get a man aboard on the hit by pitch, and Lothan shows bunt. As expected, to try to get that runner over, he chose to try to steal second along the way and gets gunned down. Called strike at the plate as well, so it is now an 0-2 count. And that just makes you want to pull your hair out if you are a Panther fan right now.
Mm-hmm. Very promising inning. Gets erased at second base.
It's not over yet, but
nope.
Definitely a potential stain. Now the swing and miss strikeout. And now that getting caught stealing at second just stings a little bit more.
Yeah, the lead runner on. Nobody out. 3 pitches later, 2 out.
But you could tell me, and from a coach's standpoint, because the runner was going and you're showing bunt on the way. So is that something where you're telling your batter, hey, you have to make contact with this thing, and even if it goes foul, so be it. We just can't have that runner getting thrown out at second base.
Yeah, well, really, it's on the runner. You know, he saw him squared to bunt, but you really want to see that bunt get down before you make the break. I mean, fundamentally, that's typically the way it goes. I think it was a steal all the way.
So then Lothan was
he put
bunting.
the bat in front of the catcher's eyes to try and help his runner out.
3 straight balls now in this at bat to Curley, and Lennox Van, he's going to ask for a new baseball. It's definitely in my scorebook. It is an out and a play that is starred for the moment.
Yep.
Where if we finish this game, and if it does not break the way of the Panthers, as that one's called for a high strike, that could be a moment we look back on and say, what could have been in that inning? You know, hindsight is always 20/20. I'm not trying to say it was the wrong call or anything like that. It is just definitely one that it's going to be noteworthy to look back on.
Yeah.
Count is now full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Curley. Did he go around? They asked the umpire, and they say he did go around.
Wow.
The umpire at third base. And I got to tell you, for Jace Curley, as he tosses the bat, that's got to be frustrating. I thought initially he might have checked his swing.
I thought so too.
Umpire down at third disagrees. So for Lennox Van, he is through 4 hitless and 4 scoreless so far. Tigers continue to hold on to that 1-run lead.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, The professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Panther fans can find us at 310 North Hospital Drive in Paola or 913-294-3713. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Now on to the bottom of inning number 4, where Clayton, the catcher, will lead it off here. He had that leadoff double his last time up. He steps in here. Excuse me, that was Rogers, the catcher. This is the third baseman, Clayton. My apologies. Clayton Gomez. Rogers is due up third. Shaden Clayton will give it a try here. Mercer back to work. That big breaking pitch gets the bat, and that'll roll foul.
Excuse me, swing.
For 1 run on 2 hits for the Tigers. No runs, no hits for the Panthers. No errors for either team either.
Very clean game so far.
So far. This is about what you would expect out of a state semifinal matchup. Where it felt like yesterday in a lot of games, there was a lot of uncharacteristic errors for teams that were qualifying for state in the quarterfinal. Has not been the case here so far. This is game 1 of 4. Here today. Our second and final semifinal game will take place about 30 minutes after this game concludes at about 1:15. This one pulled to the left side. He's going to get by the diamond glove of Troutman and out into the outfield. And Troutman, when he landed, he might have landed a little awkwardly on that shoulder. He's a little slow to get up.
He's
J.D. Troutman, a little shaken.
He does. That's too bad.
They're going to call for some time. He's going to be 10-2 by Lothan.
Diving like that can really
Now, I can tell you this right now, for J.D. Troutman, he's no way you're going to get him out of this game.
No.
That's just, it can be an exhibition game or here in the state tournament. He's going to stay in there. He's going to gut it out. But definitely you could tell not 100% out there at short. He's putting the hat back on. He's going to keep on going.
He's as tough as they come.
No doubt about it.
That's a good way to separate a shoulder, though. I know I've done it.
So that's always the initial worry and fear when someone's diving out. He's using that arm for extension. Mercer will take this one himself. Quick toss.
Fort Scott playing small ball there, knowing the runs are going to be at a premium here.
Mercer, took that and got the throw off quickly. So that advances Clayton up to second base. And now Rogers, off that double he had early in the game, out into left. With that hit that Clayton had, that is now the 3rd hit of the game for the Tigers. Chance to double their lead potentially with a hit. 1 out. Mercer back to work. First pitch called strike.
Mercer had a runner at second base with nobody out in the last inning and was able to strike out the side. Would like to duplicate that here.
No doubt. Back in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and Mercer was able to do that. It's another moment starred in the scorebook that could have easily have been leading to a 2-0 lead and could have led on to a whole lot more, but Mercer instead buckled down, handled his business. Another big breaking pitch comes back into the zone, called strike 2. He has been dealing with that pitch all morning. Trying to get out number 2 at the plate is Mercer. The 1-2, he'll throw to second. Clayton will scamper on back. Being cautious not to get too far away and picked off.
He's getting a really big lead.
4 strikeouts so far for Mercer. He's looking for number 5. That last pitch fouled away from Rogers. 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. Did he go around? They'll appeal. Ask around and so Roman Barnes, he pointed out to one of the umpires in the field as to appeal and ask if he had went around, and it looks like the appeal was not even granted or met with any thought.
Yeah, I think you want to do that to the home plate umpire. You're not allowed to point to the field umpire and ask for it.
So now a 2-2. It's too low and away. Payoff pitch looming in next. Okay, more often than not, I think, high school kids out there, I think umpires, especially more these days, realize situationally they're asking for an appeal. Let me just tell them yay or nay. I mean, that one wasn't even, just was got completely ignored. Don't see that all too often. Even Barnes asking for the home plate umpire, and he seemed to just kind of shrug it off. Here's the 3-2. There's the fly ball that he was looking for. Will it be deep enough for Clayton to tag? It will not. Meinig will get it back into the infield. It was a warm burner back to J.D. Troutman. But that holds the runner at second. Vegas now 2 outs. Spot here for Mintz, the 7-hole hitter, 0 for 1 today. Out away. Many a times that there have been a lot of these early high leverage situations in this ball game so far, and what right now has the makings of possibly finishing as a 1-0 ball game, where a big at-bat where it can result in a big hit and a big RBI can be the difference in a win and going to the state championship, or a loss and playing for third. You just never know.
Yeah, Mercer got him with some high heat there.
Just 3 hits combined between these two, all 3 belonging to the Tigers. Fouled that one away. Definitely, crowd has filed in more and more as the morning has come along. Fort Scott crowd has traveled nicely, as has the Panthers.
Yeah, nice crowd on hand.
0-2. This one gets by Barnes, so Clayton will go ahead and move up to third base.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
Roman Barnes, one is as close as you can get to just having a brick wall.
Yeah.
Back behind home plate. That one got between his legs. He tried to block it, keep it in front of him, but it gets away. Now the 1-2 is chopped and fouled. As Clayton took a really long extended lead down the line, almost coming down close to about a quarter and halfway down the line when that pitch was leaving the hand of Mercer.
He was getting a really good secondary lead out there at second, too.
And Mercer has a move, might make a throw. He doesn't, and Barnes this time able to keep that one in front. That gets by the backstop. This is a 2-0 ball game. Nicely done there for Roman.
Yeah, he saved a run right there.
Two. So again, a walk here. It wouldn't be the end of the world necessarily. There's still 2 outs in the inning. You're facing the 7-hole hitter right now with Cannon, the 8-hole hitter on deck, and it will be ball 4. So Cannon will get a chance to come to the plate. Runners on the corners now for Fort Scott. And we're going to have a walkout to the hill right now, the pitching coach.
If I'm coach here, I'm telling them don't fall for the old fake pickle play, the old rundown play.
Which is good that you brought that up, because many times we saw it in our games yesterday and all throughout this tournament, it feels like.
Once with Paola.
And Fort Scott was able to do it against Abilene as well, where they were able to add on another run to make it 4-2, where, in a situation like this, runner goes for second. You go to try to throw him out. Meanwhile, the runner from third comes down to score, and even if that out's recorded, that run still scores and counts.
Yeah, if he scores before the tag.
This is definitely a situation where, and I think if you're Mintz, you're aware of this too. If you go off for second, it goes one of 2 ways. You're either going to get the stolen base or defensive indifference, however you want to draw it up, or if they are going to throw over that way, then you give Clayton a chance to try to come down and score via the distraction. So it would not surprise me one bit if Mintz takes off here on this pitch or the next. Which, like we mentioned with Paola and the coaching staff coming out, talking with the infield and probably telling them if he goes for second, leave it.
Yeah, long look down there at the third base coach.
Telling Mercer
what they got on here.
Telling Mercer and telling Barnes to be smart. Here's the pitch. Mercer now starting to miss low and away.
It looks like it could be a mechanical issue.
Cannon taking a long look down to third base at the coach, giving out the signals. Communicates, relays with the runners on base. Cannon at third, Clayton at third, Mintz at first. Cannon at the plate. 1-0 for Mercer. Strike one. #1 overall seed McPherson Bullpup starting to roll into Dean Evans Stadium, ready for their next game against the defending 4A state champion Rock Creek Mustangs. After this game, 1-1, big hooking break. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nice pitch by Mercer there. See if he can get him out, get out of this inning unscathed.
And there he goes. Fake the throw, and there we go. So now Clayton is caught in a rundown. The throw to Barnes.
I'm almost sure that's what Coach went out there for.
And that is textbook. Barnes running him back to the bag.
Yep.
Lothan was there ready for the throwback. He tags him himself. Nicely done. Well coached. Fundamental baseball there.
Yep.
Great defense by the Panthers. Mercer, Barnes, everybody else involved.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that's what he was talking to them about out there on the mound.
Has to be. I would think on that. So now it is on to the 5th inning. It is 1-0 Fort Scott. And while we have some time, we're actually going to keep it here as Denny, real quick. I want to give a special shout out to Brendan Boland, our resident voice of the Paola Panthers. For those that might not know, Brendan is getting ready to embark over the summer on an internship with the Upper Valley Nighthawks. They're a collegiate summer baseball team up in Hartford, Vermont, a member of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. He is going up for a summer internship there. He's going to be doing a lot of great work over for the team and their games on ESPN Plus and stuff. And for you folks in the Paola community, you've gotten to know Brendan very well over the past year and a half or so. gotten a chance to know Brendan very, very well. We've done many of these tournaments with him, our KWCA Kansas Shrine Duels events as well. He has become one of the more prominent voices across our network here at Varsity Sports Live, and just a fine, terrific young man as well, who's going to have a very successful career in sports broadcast in general, whether it be on the mic or if he's in the truck. No matter what he's doing, he's going to be awesome at what he does. So he'll be going out for that summer internship. Then he's going out to Central Missouri, home of the Mules, Roll Stable. He's going there for college starting next fall. Again, just congratulations, Brendan, and thank you for all the hard work you've put in for us here, whether it be at Paola, Lewisburg, Tonganoxie, many of the other channels. We appreciate you very much and look forward to continuing to work with you as the years continue to go along. Miss you here at this state tournament. First pitch here, put out into left, and that is dropped.
I think he lost that in the sun.
I believe he did as well. So Jasper Logan puts a high fly. It was the second pitch of the at-bat on an 0-1 count out into left field. And the left fielder, I think you're right, Dan. I believe he did lose it in the sun.
It looked like he was trying to shade his eyes with his glove, and he just lost it. Well, right now, I think you got to bunt him over to third. The way Van's pitching, I think you're going to have to bunt him here.
Costly error for the Tigers. Bunt put down. Van thought about throwing to third. Instead, we'll have to go to first.
Beautiful bunt right there. Well executed sacrifice bunt. Van took a long look at third base before he made the decision, but made the correct choice.
He knows he has a strong arm. He could have flirted with the idea, but if it gets by the glove of Clayton or if he's safe, and then now you have two runners aboard.
Yeah.
Made the out at first, one out. And now a fly to the outfield by Barnes.
See if it's deep enough.
The leading RBI getter in the game yesterday. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off, and we are tied here in this ball game. So Jasper Logan gets aboard on that air out in left field from Cannon. That's going to sting.
Mm-hmm.
A sack bunt later, and now a sack fly from Roman Barnes. His combined between the games yesterday and now that RBI here just a few seconds ago, his third total RBI, and he has tied this game. Nicely done.
Yeah, and good fundamental baseball. I mean, the thing that usually gets lost in those situations is that sacrifice bunt. And boy, was that a good one to get that runner over.
No doubt. Now a hit by pitch. So now all of a sudden, things starting to potentially get a little out of control here for Fort Scott, as now their skipper's going to come out and have a word with home plate umpire.
Yeah, and what he's saying is that he used the helmet. He ducked his head and took the pitch in a helmet, but there's no way you can call that.
It's one of the, unless if it is blatantly obvious that you do it, there's really no way to, especially after a call is made, you can't go back and say, I changed my mind. As a comebacker goes back, and that's into center field. So it went through the legs of Van and up the middle of that infield. And for Paola, it took 4 2/3 innings, but they now have their first hit of the ball game at 2 aboard here. Go ahead, run in scoring position. And now a team meeting on the mound. This is exactly what the Panthers have been looking for. Now you send it back to the top of the order, J.D. Troutman.
And he is due.
I go back and think when we were here in 2022, we were covering then for our Tonganoxie affiliate. They played these Paola Panthers in the semifinal, and it was a game for the Chieftains where they trailed the majority, and then they went into the top of the fifth, and it was kind of, I believe Paola might have committed an error there, or there was a close play, and then all of a sudden that kind of opened the floodgates, and then runs started to pour in. Maybe Paola will be looking to replicate that here. For J.D. Troutman, all he wants to do is he takes that collective deep breath, relaxing the shoulders, playing loose. Just all he wants to do is put it out somewhere where it hits on green turf and fair play. Keep the line moving, a chance to give that go-ahead run at second to score in Stein. And time will be called for here at the plate. Fans still in the game for Fort Scott. Here's the pitch. Troutman out into left, and that will hang up enough, and Cannon is there to squeeze it for the third and final out. Just hung up enough there from J.D. Troutman. But that costly two-base error out in left field comes home to score on a sac bunt and a sac fly by Roman Barnes, and we are tied at 1 run here after 4.5. You're watching Paola Baseball live from the state tournament at Dean Evans Stadium.
My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
If you're going to wear jewelry, shouldn't it be as unique as you? At Wilson's Jewelers, they can bring your ideas to life. Wilson's can also put old stones in new pieces, or new stones in old pieces, or even just repair what you already love. Wilson's Jewelers brings quality service and old world craftsmanship to the area by learning from jewelry masters from around the world. For 30 years, Wilson's Jewelers has been family owned and operated. When it comes to your adornments, trust Wilson's Jewelers, your personal jeweler.
Brand new ball game here into the bottom of the fifth. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors for Paola. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for Fort Scott. And that error was a costly one, Denny. It led with basically the two-base error on what should have been a routine fly out to left field by Jasper Logan in the top of the fifth. Instead, he was aboard at second. They laid down a bunt to move him over to third, and then Roman Barnes was able to bring him home on that sac fly. That sac bunt was put down by Xander Meinig. That was
executed
well done.
Really well.
No doubt about it. Just what the doctor ordered. Now it's a chance for Mercer to go out and work with some brand new light. He gets a 3-pitch strikeout. So now into a 4 1/3 for David Mercer. 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts so far for him. You cannot ask for a much better outing for him against this offense. We talked about very potent for Fort Scott, averaging 8 runs a ball game and have placed 10 or more runs on the scoreboard in 13 of their games this year. That big breaking pitch that time did not come inside, and it hits him. So, just like that for the Tigers, go-ahead run is aboard in Marbury. And that was the 9-hole hitter too, Denny. So now we go back to the top of the order, third time through. And the lone run for Fort Scott came in the bottom of the first, and it was this said, top of the order, that got things happen where Lennox Van was able to get the RBI single. And Tim Mercer has hung up 3 straight goose eggs. Downstairs for ball 1. Winner goes on to play in the state championship later tonight at around 6 o'clock. Loser will play in the third place game at 3:30. above the letters. 2 balls, no strikes. Dub Chipman, one of the 2 commits to Fort Scott Community College on this team. Next pitch too low and away, so now 3-0. And a walk here would now move that go-ahead run into scoring position, as Chipman, imagine, going to be taken all the way on this next pitch from Mercer.
I would imagine.
Time will be called for, steps out of the box, quickly gets back in. Mercer wasting little time, delivers the 3-0. There's the strike. Game has lived up to the profile of a state semifinal all the way through. Now the 3-1 is put out to the outfield. It's going to get down for a base hit, and that's close to the gap, and Meinig will cut it off. First to third comes Marbury, and he will make it in safely. And that's a big hit there for Doug Chipman.
Yeah, it is.
And with 1 out in the inning, they're at the corners. 4th hit of the ball game for Fort Scott. And now it looks like the change is going to be made. The day will be over on the bump for David Mercer. Imagine they will keep him in the ball game. The question is, where will they place him? But 4 1/3 strong innings, and now a hit by pitch, and now that single given up. And that is going to be the end of the day for Mercer. Pitching change will be made here in a few moments. Hey, Coach Tony Brummer out to relay the change to the home plate umpire. We'll have that for you when we return here on Paola Sports Live.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness and a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
The Fun 99 menu, always $1.99 each.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Delicioussment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. The all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a 3rd-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
J.D. Troutman is going to get the nod here. He will move over from shortstop. Mason Stein will take over at short for Troutman. Mercer will stay in the ball game. He goes out into the outfield and will take over patrolling duties in left. So Marbury is at third. He reached on a hit by pitch. We just had the single from Dub Chipman. He's over at first base, who moved Marbury from first to third. On the line drive it to the gap in right center. So J.D. Troutman will take over, an even 2 ERA on the year, 27 strikeouts, 9 walks, 14 total innings on the year for him. Throws a first pitch called strike. Big spot, big moment here for J.D. That go-ahead run 90 feet away for Fort Scott. 0-1 pitch. Runner goes for second. It was a hit and run, but it goes foul. Out into the parking lot.
Poor Scott trying to stay out of the double play there, putting on the hit and run.
Brown 0 for 2 today. Runner goes again and again. It was a hit and run. Ambush tactics here from the Tigers. Cannon Brown, a .391 average on the year, 29 RBIs on 36 hits. 0 for 2 today, a pair of groundouts. Troutman's 0-2, here it is, and this time out into the outfield, drifting back and making a catch, but falling down. So Marbury will tag in and he will score, and Fort Scott will retake the lead. So Stein drifted back, made the catch, but his momentum taking him backwards made him tumble. And even if he catches it, a throw would have been made to home plate. Probably would have been a close play. But it goes as a sac fly, and Fort Scott back in front 2-1.
They're going to appeal there that he left early.
They say that he did not.
Fort Scott takes the lead, 2-1. Now you have Lennox Van. He drove in the last run for Fort Scott.
Part of a 1 for 2 day, and he pulls this one out to right. Koslow going back at the track. It is gone.
Wow.
Lennox Van put a heavyweight swing into that one. It goes over the right field wall. It's a 2-run blast off of J.D. Troutman. 4 runs scored, 3 of them batted in by Lennox Van. And Fort Scott has opened this game up here in the bottom of the 5th.
Troutman got all of that. Van got all of that one.
Home run number 4 on the season. And like you said, no doubt about it. So Van joins Cole Platson as the lone sluggers of this tournament to leave the yard, both of them over the right field wall. One-0 pitch, even now at 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's got to be disheartening for the Panthers. You answer with your run in the top of the 5th, tie the game up, brand new ball game. You get the first out of the inning, then a hit by a pitch, single followed that. It knocks Mercer out of the game off the mound. He takes over and left. You bring J.D. Troutman in, gives up the run on the sac fly, as Stein will take care of this to wrap up the inning. But then that 2-run home run from Lennox Van plates 3. Makes it a 3 spot here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers. On to the 6th we go, 4-1. Fort Scott 6 outs away from a state championship berth.
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Watch this. Call your dad from that phone.
So you pay for a phone line just to laugh at kids?
No, my internet company makes me pay for the phone. Might as well get something out of it.
That internet?
No bundling required. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
So on to the 6th we go. 4 total runs score in the 5th inning between the two teams. 3 for the Tigers, just 1 for the Panthers. It was a tie game, 1-1. Tigers got the second run of the game on a sac fly on a pop out to shallow center. Mason Stein, the shortstop, went out to collect it, and then Lennox Van stepped in and put a blast over the right field wall for a 2-run home run. So now your box score, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Paola, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Fort Scott. And worth noting that that 1 run that was allowed that came in to score reached on a 2-base error. Would have been a routine fly out for the first out in the top of the 5th. It said it was dropped by Cannon and had a sac bunt from Meinig and then a sac fly from Barnes that brought that runner in to score. Now the Panthers need to start getting more runs in. And now they'll have a chance to do that with a hit by pitch. So Koslow now up to first base. And that one definitely stung, just off the sound of it. That was a loud thud picked up by our crowd mic.
I think that got him on the elbow pad. It was a little too plastic sounding to be. Didn't sound like meat.
Little too plastic sounding,
yeah.
You say, Denny. All right. I didn't know something could sound necessarily too plastic.
Pretty sure that hit him off the guard.
Yeah. Well, that's why you wear it, after all.
I guess.
He's got that runner's mitt on now. Will the Panthers be aggressive to move along on the base paths? We saw the infield talking for Fort Scott, and right away, a quick throw over to first. So the Tigers at least prepping potentially for a runner that might go.
Down by 3, though, you can't run yourself out of an inning.
0 for 2 day for Hunter Lothan so far. He takes that one upstairs for ball 1. Definitely can't run yourselves out of the inning, but also have to find a way to get runners over in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
And given you've been held to 1 hit so far, as that one has popped up and out of play. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Panthers try to get a little aggressive here, at least running, possibly even just to avoid the double play. So we'll see what happens. One of these days, I'm going to track me a foul ball, and I'm going to get me that sweet treat they keep talking about.
Yeah, I wonder what that treat is.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch, and it goes out. The running bed is still snow
cones.
I think.
Yeah.
I've seen a mass abundance of snow cones here. Maybe some cookies. You never know. Here's the 1-2. Good pitch, and strike 3 is called, and that one had some late zip on it there at the end.
Yep.
Moved it back into the zone and struck him out looking. Oh, then frustrated going back into the dugout.
Yeah, I think he thought that pitch was outside.
Jace Curley swings at the first pitch. He's fielded by Gomez at second, tossed to first in time. So that runner does go into scoring position at second. Though with 2 outs, going to take a hit to bring him home. Jasper Logan, he was the one that reached on the 2-base error. And eventually will come in to score the lone run of the ball game for the Panthers back in the top of the 5th inning. Just to get Koslow home from second, at least make it a 2-run ball game. You would feel
much better
about that. Try to avoid having to go into the top of the 7th where things stand right now, needing at least 3 runs.
Yeah.
That is if Fort Scott doesn't add on any more in the bottom of the 6th. Next pitch from Van. Low. Really rearing back here on these pitches as this game continues to get older and older. One delivered, swung on out into right, backing up, Messer, back. It's over his glove. And that will go down as a double. This time properly And that run does come in to score. Blake Coslow reached on the hit by pitch, who's brought home by a Jasper Logan double.
Now that's what you call a timely hit.
That ball just continued to carry, and Messer had to keep backpedaling, eventually turned his chest to the wall, and it was over his glove.
Well, he's playing a really shallow right field. No question about it.
So now Meinig will step in and a chance to keep the line moving. 2 runs on 2 hits in this game for Paola. No errors, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Fort Scott. Meinig lays off the 1-0, and it's called for strike 1. Meinig 0 for 1. He ran into a fielder's choice, and again, he laid down that sack bunt.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
Jasper Logan in to score the first run. Trying to move Logan over again, but it's popped up. Shallow left. Shortstop Brown calls for it and brings it in. Paola does get 1 run back here in the top of the 6th on the 2-out, 1-run double from Jasper Logan. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 4-2. Tigers still in control.
Stupid Go Brawley internet.
Go Brawley allows you complete control over internet usage for all devices in your home from anywhere, as it should be. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
So that was big for that 2-out double. Like you mentioned, timely hitting by Jasper Logan, who comes through in the top of the 6th. They needed at least 1 or 2 of those runs back. They get 1. That second run was left in scoring position at second for Logan off the double. It's 4-2 now. Back to work goes J.D. Troutman in the bottom of the 6th. After that 3 spot given up in the bottom of the 5th. Part of that, the 2-run home run from Lennox Van. 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the stop. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for JD right now, his sole focus, his job, keeping this a 4-2 ball game, give the offense a chance. It'll be the bottom of the order due in the top of the 7th for the Panthers. Barnes, Stein, and Mercer, who for 7-8-9, that's about as solid, well-rounded of a 7-8-9 to lead off the top of the 7th as you can ask for. Fouled away to the concourse it goes. High drama all throughout this game here. Winner on to the state championship. That one a little high, straight thud off the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barn not able to snag it down with his mitt. Two on the board. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Pitch was just a little bit outside, laying off of it. Up to first goes Brody Gomez. Now Colton Rogers will step in also with an extra base hit. He had a double. Courtesy runner appears to be going to be called for here for Gomez.
Pitch running at first base, number 42, Creek Rogers.
Rogers to bat, and Rogers' young brother would assume on pinch run at first base. Not too many scenarios, I imagine you get to see that happen. Colton Rogers, the senior, number 18 at the dish right now, 0-1 count. Pitch just above the letters. 1 ball, 1 strike now. At least 1 run scored in the last inning and a half for both teams. Coming again, too far upstairs. Rogers with the leadoff over at first. Troutman takes a couple of looks at him, but ready to deliver. 2-1 to the plate, swung on, fouled off. And that actually sneaks through the netting and into the stands here. The soft, generous bounce right on the Paola side of the stands. Give it to a young kid, and I know what he's going to do with that foul ball.
Yeah, he's going to go get him a snow cone.
Going to cash in on that sweet treat that the PA announcer keeps alluding to. 2-2, swung on and miss. Swing and miss strikeout for J.D. Troutman, his first of the ball game. It's impressive that baseball even got through the netting because there's
That's
not
pretty tough.
There's not really a lot of room.
Yeah.
There's enough of a gap to where if it's hit perfectly, it can squeeze through. It's kind of almost a 1 in a million type scenario.
Yeah,
Not necessarily those odds.
You got to get more than a sweet treat for that.
Yeah, it's impressive. Rogers, the courtesy runner, still over at first. On 1 count here now to Mintz, 0 for 1 in the game. We have a great ball game on deck. You and I will get to watch, Denny, Rock Creek and McPherson.
Mm-hmm.
Bull Pups, #1 seed, coming off their win yesterday against Tonganoxie and take on the defending 4A state champion Mustangs from Rock Creek. It's going to be a lot of fun watching that one. Winner of that game takes on the winner of this one in the state championship game this evening here at Dean Evans Stadium. One. Strike 2. Panthers would love nothing more here than an inning-ending double play. Send it to the top of the 7th, down 2 runs, give that offense a chance to rally. 1-2, grounded on the right side. They'll have to take 1. They'll go to second. Throw to first is not going to be in time. Great effort nonetheless. And Rogers cut down at second. Mintz will take a spot over at first base on the fielder's choice. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, keep the runner out of scoring position. That was the right choice.
Cannon would love to make up for that error he had out in left field. Led to the 1 run in the top of the 5th for Paola. For a team and a defense that has been very sound defensively all throughout, that was a very surprising error. It was one of those where he was battling the glare of the sun the entire way, and eventually the glare got the best of him. Allowed that pop fly to drop down, 2-base error. Came in to score. A pair of sacrifice moves made later for Paola. Fort Scott answered in the bottom of the 5th with 3 runs, 2 of them on the home run over the right field wall from Lennox Van. Paola did get 1 in the top of the 6th on a 2-out 1-run double from Jasper Logan. Now Troutman trying to hold the Tigers scoreless here in the bottom of the 6th. 0-2, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Troutman goes just over his glove, taken and diving out for second. What a play by Jace Curley for the out at second.
Yeah, nicely done.
It just means a little bit more here at this state tournament. Panthers, top of the 7th, gonna need a rally, down 2 runs. Let's see if they can make some magic happen. We'll have it for you here when we return on Paola Sports Live.
Live remarkably at Colonial Oaks Spring Hill. The caring, loving, and qualified staff of professionals at Colonial Oaks offers your loved ones the care they need with the compassion they deserve. With a wide range of services, Colonial Oaks can meet a variety of needs, including with their Rhythm of the Day Memory Care program or on-site therapy with Empower Me Wellness. Residents enjoy 3 delicious restaurant-style meals daily, all with the support of the Colonial Oaks team. Learn more at colonialoaks.com.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Top of the 7th, down to their final 3 outs. Paola trying to make this comeback rally, move on to the state championship game in our 4th and final game of the day here at Dean Evatt Stadium. Meanwhile, for Fort Scott, looking to punch their ticket. They're 3 outs away. Lennox Van still on the bump. Looking to close this game for the Tigers. Hold down the fort and send Fort Scott to that title game where they'll await the winner of McPherson and Rock Creek. First pitch, in for a called strike. Roman Barnes, Mason Stein, David Mercer, 7-8-9. The 3-2 up here. We'll go back to the top of the order of J.D. Troutman if anybody gets aboard. 0-1 pitch off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. These 2 teams met back on April 3rd, a doubleheader at Paola, where they split. Panthers won game 1, or Fort Scott won game 1, 10-7. Panthers would get the second game 3-2. As this is grounded to first, Chipman will take it. No jog, and 1 out. Yeah, this looks like Barnes just kind of surrendered, knowing the out there. Van actually got the loss in that game that the Tigers dropped to Paola 3-2. Went 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of those being earned, 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. Looking to seal the deal here. Head 0-2. Big swing and miss. And Mason Stein had him fooled.
Yeah, big sweep and breaking ball there.
Does not get a 3-pitch strikeout. Stein will get on base at this point any way that you can get it. But he gets a swing and miss again. That big hooking, breaking curve from Lennox Van. And just like that, he's got the Tigers in the catbird seat of going on to that state championship later tonight. 9-0 hitter David Mercer. He was the starting pitcher in the game today. Went 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Was relieved by J.D. Troutman. Mercer then took over in left field for Ryan Hauser. And now he steps into the box here, the righty. Is now down to the last 2 strikes and just trying to get aboard, give his teammate J.D. a chance, but it goes out into left. Cannon in on it, and he brings it in. So Fort Scott defend the fort. They hold it down, and they will play later tonight in the state championship game. Fort Scott is back once again. This historic program at Fort Scott High School Tiger Baseball. They will take on the winner of McPherson and Rock Creek. Meanwhile, Paola, second year in a row, they will go on to play in the 3rd place game. Trying to get back to the championship game for the first time in 11 seasons and come up short. Tough game all the way through. 4-2 is the final score.
Yeah, tough fought game on both sides. It's just, unfortunate. Panthers come up a couple runs shy.
We'll give you the box score and everything coming up here on our Paola Vet Clinic post-game show in just a few moments.
Oh, hi, honey.
Hi, Grandma. I'm really sorry. I won't be able to make it today. I have way too much homework, and you don't have enough internet.
Oh, honey, I gotta go. I gotta go. Oh, I need more internet in my house.
Well, you could have just called, right?
Oh.
Call Go Brawley today.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
State coordinates of new land acquisition.
Oh, well, you know that big oak tree that got struck by lightning?
Negative.
The barn with the funny cow mural?
Negative.
One-eyed scarecrow?
Negative.
Giant water tower? You're not from here, are you?
I've never seen him.
Robots don't know you. We do.
Hey, how's your dad doing?
For over 80 years, we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Rusty Walters in Paola today at 913-294-2737.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Struggling at school, feeling like no one understands you? The stress and worry of growing up and life in general can truly feel overwhelming. You might feel like you can't or don't want to talk to your parents or friends. That's when you need an ally. The team at Allies Therapeutic Services is uniquely qualified to provide the support, guidance, and treatment for children and teens. With a wide range of therapies to meet you where you are. Everyone needs an ally. Learn more at alliestherapy.com.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare. Advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
Back here live at Dean Evans Stadium. Again, final score, state semifinal matchup for Fort Scott. They win it 4-2. That being the final score. Fort Scott, they're going on to the championship game in search for their very first title. The program started back in 1990. They are on to the championship game looking for their very first title. It was a really cool story for Fort Scott. I mentioned it a little bit with Adam LaRoche, the Major League ball player from Fort Scott, Kansas. He's still heavily involved with the high school program here, being an assistant. He helped establish the LaRoche baseball complex. Contributed over $2.5 million of his own money for that complex to be made and for the complex that Fort Scott uses. The high school baseball stadium there, one of the best complexes in the state. And Dave Reagan Stadium, his uncle, the late uncle, and father for current head coach Josh Reagan of the Fort Scott Tigers. So there's a lot of pageantry to be had for in Fort Scott high school baseball. And congratulations to the Tigers going on to the championship game. They're going to be watching this next game very closely with Rock Creek and McPherson. My, oh my, what a game it will be. Winner will go on to the championship game. We'll be watching it closely as well because the loser will turn around and will play Paola in the third place game. And again, another year here at state tournament for Coach Brummer and squad. And look, I know this is, and I'm sure for Coach Brummer, he's telling his team the very same thing right now. Yes, it's disappointing to drop that game against a team in Fort Scott. You split the regular season doubleheader with them in the year. The rubber match goes to the way of the Tigers, and it's frustrating. I know it can be frustrating. I'm sure he's saying that time and time again they get here and just haven't been able to get over that hump to get into the championship game. There's still plenty left to be played for, and the fact that you can say that you are one of the 4 teams that were still left standing in all of 4A here at this tournament to be one of the best in the state, there's a lot of baseball teams that play 4A high school baseball in the state of Kansas, and to be one of the last 4 standing, let alone the last 8 that were able to qualify to make it here to this point, that truly says something. It's still plenty left to be played for the Panthers, which I'm sure they're going to turn around. They're going to get ready to go. I imagine that is going to be the case here. Pull up the box score here for the game, give you guys some numbers. Here again, final score of 4-2, the final, with Paola dropping the game to Fort Scott. Here is your box score. It is 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors for Paola, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Fort Scott. Lennox Van goes the distance. He picks up the win today for his team. He finishes with 7 strong innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run given up, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. For the Panthers, it is Mercer that will be given the loss. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Troutman came in an inning and 2/3 under his belt. He gave up 1 hit, and that was the big 2-run home run that was given up to Lennox Van, part of that 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. Paola would come back and get a run in the top of the 6th, held the Tigers scoreless in the bottom half of that inning, came to the top of the 7th, and 7, 8, 9 were looking to make a rally happen, but Van was able to hunker down and get him retired 1, 2, 3, and that was all she wrote here in this game for Paola. So again, still a lot and still plenty to be played for in this one. They had that's a really great quality opponent in Fort Scott that you lost to, and I know they don't want to hear that right now, but it was a great game, great effort nonetheless. So they'll be off their feet here for about the next couple hours or so. They'll watch along with us here at Dean Evans Stadium along to this game. Rock Creek, the defending 4A state champions, against number 1 overall seed McPherson Bull Pups, who just a few years ago in 22 and 23 won back-to-back state titles after not qualifying last year. They're back, looking to get back to win 3 titles in the last 4 years. We'll see if it'll be McPherson or if it'll be Rock Creek that'll be facing the Paola Panthers coming up at around 3:30 or so here on Paola Sports Live. The broadcast will be posted here in the next few moments or so as we get things situated up here in the press box, and we get ready to roll here on throughout the day. 3rd place game will take place at around 3:30. Again, final score, Fort Scott 4, Paola 2. We will see the Panthers take on either McPherson or Rock Creek in the 3rd place game here on Paola Sports Live. Again, you've been watching our Paola Vet post-game show. There it is, our Paola post-game show here on Paola Sports Live. And thank you guys for joining along with us all throughout the day, and we'll see you here in a few more hours on your home with the Panthers, Paola Sports Live.